Ambassador. I think over the session that we had, we have all realized the importance of Indian Ocean and beyond into the Indo-Pacific that we need to look at. And there are a lot of initiatives that have been done by India. And since we talk of Mauritius, takes me back to 1974 when, as young naval trainees, we actually towed the first of our a small patrol vessel and gifted it from Government of India to Mauritius. And that was the beginning of a lot of our interaction. And then we also had at the Shangri-La dialogue, the Prime Minister mentioned that we got to work together with common interests, and it's all togetherness that needs to do. And then we announced the Indo-Pacific Oceans Initiative. In fact, other than maritime technology, we have security and other aspects, and some nations have come forward to work with us. And then again at Mauritius, while commissioning of the ship which we had built here, we talked of, Prime Minister spoke of Sagar. It's a vision and growth for all. And then today we have shifted to Mahasagar. Let me say that with the Indo-Pacific being a strategic theatre, our Sagar doctrine, where we talk of security and growth for all, we talk of, I'll just look at the bullet points, I'll say that we respect for sovereignty and international law, collective security architecture, economic connectivity and blue economy, capacity building and humanitarian assistance, environmental stewardship and climate resilience. Now all this, we have taken a lot of initiatives in infrastructure development and defense cooperation. And as Ambassador mentioned, there are places like in Africa where they had a major, just one of the Indian naval ships who were patrolling there, were the first to land, welfare, to undertake welfare measures there, basically giving them food and water, which even before their country could do, we could do because of our presence of our ship. Today we, of course, when you're talking about Amritkal, etc., we are talking about expansion towards Mahasagar, which is announced in March 25 by the Honorable Prime Minister during his visit to Mauritius again. It's of mutual and holistic advancement for security and growth across the regions. Now, basically, mutuality in cooperation and shared security, holistic development, rule-based maritime order, plurilateral and multilateral relationship. And this is where we are, emerging as a major role in maritime order. So, which we need to do naval modernization, port development and maritime domain awareness, which was spoken of at length in the previous session. And we have been deepening our ties with island nations. And also we have helped, apart from Chabahar port, which we want to develop and give us an entry into Afghanistan, Central Asia, the Sitwe port in Myanmar, which is where we are looking at again, the Guam in Oman, and it's a naval logistic access that we want to look at. So therefore, island states have become very corner for us. We got to cooperate with them together. And apart from Indian Ocean littorals, we are also looking at East African littorals, and we are making a South Pacific outreach. So resource limitations are there, and sometimes, as some say, there is also the bureaucratic inertia from both nations to take things forward. Of course, we all watch, and it was mentioned in the last session, China's growing dominance and influence, where they make a lot of investments. So a lot of countries are debating, should we wait for China's investment or should look at India? So all these together we need to balance. And this is where the navies and Coast Guard come in, where we interact with them, joint exercises with them. And we also have, as I mentioned also by the Ambassador, you have the Indian Ocean Naval Symposium, and we have the Milan exercise, where from 3 to 4 nations we expanded to over 15 nations. And we are also going and taking part, like in Australia. Our both Army and Navy and Air Force went and took part in an exercise there. So these are areas that we can cooperate. And between Navy and our Coast Guard, while Coast Guard was set up in 70s to look after basically our exclusive economic zone where, Navy had to focus on other issues. And slowly it has developed. Both the forces are growing into force levels with, close to 200. The plan is to get about 200 ships, about 150 aircraft for the Coast Guard, and something similar and larger for the Navy. Of course, Navy also has the submarines, and today you have nuclear submarines. Our ambition is to have a third aircraft carrier. With this, we can reach out to various corners, and between Navy and Coast Guard, the cooperation is very important. And we also put forward the maritime police that will help us. It was again discussed last time, and these are areas which we learned. All of us talk about the 2008 attacks in Bombay. I was personally involved there and subsequently in the aspect of it. But well before that, many we have seem to have forgotten. There was again an attack, but it happened mainly in Bombay, in various, some 6-7 locations. There was bomb explosions. This had come through a fishing boat landed at various parts of India. We still couldn't trace where it is, but it landed in certain places, including off Goa, etc. Then it was transmitted here. So today we have improved our monitoring. We got about, there are 42 Coast Guard stations all along, and we also set up radar stations. We are enhanced surveillance. So today everything boat has. But as we spoke of education, educating the coastal community, we found two things. We had given them all transponders to carry on their fishing boats. And then we found an alarm. And we found the giants coming somewhere in some place. So when we rushed forces there, we found the fisherman had left his transporter behind, not taking it with him. And the children were playing with it and had triggered the alarm and that kind of thing. So that's why it's very important to educate coastal community. Another issue we found is to increase the security. We said all of them should be given some identity cards. Aadhaar had just come in, they said we'll give to coastal community. When we caught boats, still today carrying without that, we found they were not from part of coastal community. From interior of India, they had come and joined the fishermen as, working in the fishing boats, etc. So they didn't have the identity card. So these are something that we need to do. So closer cooperation between Navy, and today, of course, much better. We have a joint ops room, which will also give us information about all that is happening. So what happened 2000 years past, but we have to be alert because technology is growing, and even the people who are inimical to us, who want to create this thing, will certainly use it. So I will stop here and then we'll take on questions. Thank you.